you watching Express News, where we bring you top 100 news of the day. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's begin. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, along with other ministers and dignitaries, attended the Youth Convention in Odisha's Bhubaneswar on Wednesday ahead of the 18th Prasar Bharati Divas Convention. Speaking at the inauguration, Jaishankar highlighted an observation made by Indian badminton player P.V. Sindhu on why India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is a youth icon and how his spirit drives the nation towards development. The minister also addressed the Pravasi Bharatiya business leaders on the sidelines of the event. He urged people of Indian origin to promote India as a tourism destination. On Thursday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 18th edition of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention. Prime Minister Modi will also virtually flag off the first special tourist train for the Indian diaspora, the Pravasi Bharatiya Express. India's President Draupadi Murmu will address the valedictory session of the Pravasi Bharatiya Samman on Friday and also confer awards to the overseas Indians. The 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention commenced in Odisha's Bhubaneswar on Wednesday. The three-day Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention for the Overseas Indian Day celebrates the contributions of the Indian diaspora to the growth and development of the country. The largest Indian diaspora delegation from Oman with 300 members will be participating in the 18th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention. Indian Ambassador to Oman Amit Narang unveiled a special Pravasi from Oman logo designed for the participants at an embassy ceremony. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and his Maldivian counterpart Mohammad Ghassan Mamoon held delegation-level talks in New Delhi on Wednesday. Both leaders reviewed the various facets of bilateral defence cooperation. In his opening remarks, India's Defence Minister declared all military cooperation to Maldives and spoke about the strong historic bonds the two nations share. Upon his arrival, Maldivian minister was accorded a ceremonial guard of honour in New Delhi. Mamoon is on a 3-day visit to India, during which he will also visit Goa and Mumbai to further strengthen ties between the two countries. Earlier, the visiting dignitary started the day by paying floral tributes at the National War Memorial in New Delhi. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lay the foundation stone for a major green hydrogen project in Andhra Pradesh on Wednesday. With an estimated investment of 1.87 lakh crore rupees, the project will mark a significant milestone for the renewable energy in the region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also lay the foundation stone and inaugurate various railway and road projects, including the South Coast Railway headquarters at Visakhapatnam. The body of one of the 9 miners trapped inside a flooded coal mine in Dima Hasao district of East Indian Assam was recovered by a diving team of the Indian Army on Wednesday. Along with National Disaster Response Force and State Disaster Response Force, the Indian Navy has mobilized a special team to assist in the rescue of the miners trapped. V. Narayanan has been appointed as the new chairman of the Indian Space Research Organisation and secretary of the Department of Space. He will assume office on January 14th and succeed the current ISRO chairman S. Somnath. ISRO's SpaceX mission's docking is going to take place on Thursday. SpaceX is the country's first demonstration of the automated docking system, which will be used to link spacecraft in orbit around the Earth and the Moon. India has suspected its 7th case of human metapneumovirus HMPV in a 6-month-old infant of Mumbai on Wednesday. The state government is taking necessary precautions to deal with the situation. The first meeting of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on 2 bills related to One Nation, One Election was held in New Delhi on Wednesday. The JPC reviewed the Constitution 129th Amendment Bill 2024 and the Union Territories Laws Amendment Bill 2024. India's Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology organized a workshop on the Grievance Appellate Committee to address stakeholder concerns. regarding a safer internet. Indian equity indices ended on a flat note with Nifty below 23,700 in the highly volatile session on January 8th. At close, the Sensex was down 50.62 points or 0.06% at 78,148. At close, Nifty was down 19 points or 0.1% at 23,689. Indian rupee ended 13 paise lower at 85 rupees 85 paise per dollar on Wednesday against Tuesday's close of 85.72. During a visit to India, Microsoft Chairman and CEO Satya Nadella announced the company's plans to invest $3 billion in India in cloud and AI infrastructure and skilling over the next 2 years, including the establishment of new data centers. The investment aims to accelerate AI innovation in India, which is pivotal for achieving Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of becoming a developed nation, Viksit Bharat, by 2047. Social media company Meta Platforms has ended its US fact-checking program and eased restrictions on discussing sensitive topics like immigration and gender identity. Meta Platforms' decision comes after conservatives criticized the company amid President-elect Donald Trump's upcoming second term. The change marks Meta's largest shift in managing political content in recent times. Oil prices rose on Wednesday as supplies from Russia and OPEC members tightened, while data showing an unexpected increase in US job openings pointed to expanding economic activity and consequent growth in oil demand. Brent crude was up 37 cents at $77.42 a barrel, while US crude climbed 44 cents to $74.69 a barrel. China on Wednesday emphasized their firm opposition to illegal unilateral sanctions by the United States in response to Shandong Port Group banning US sanctioned tankers from calling into its ports in the eastern Chinese province. Addressing a press conference, US President-elect Donald Trump said that his presidential agenda involves military action to secure Panama Canal and economic force against Canada, among others, to integrate them with the USA. Panama's Foreign Minister Javier Martinez Acha has said that the sovereignty of Panama Canal is not negotiable. Trump also said that the USA needs Greenland for security purposes. He said that if any other country like Denmark claims so, it should leave that claim. Reacting to Trump's overtures, the Greenland MP in Denmark Parliament, Aha Chemnitz, has said that Greenland will decide its own future. Trump added that eliminating the artificially drawn US-Canada border would be a boon to national security. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau responded, saying that there is a snowball's chance in hell that Canada will merge with the United States. A New York appeals court judge on Tuesday rejected US President-elect Donald Trump's request to delay this week's sentencing in his hush money case. Trump is scheduled to be sentenced on Friday after being convicted by a New York jury. In the US, Las Vegas police suspect the use of AI program ChatGPT behind the Cybertruck blast to plan the attack. He suspects queries extended to purchasing fireworks and their equivalents to other explosive materials. US leaders on Tuesday paid tribute to former President Jimmy Carter as he laid in state at the US Capitol ahead of his funeral on Thursday. Members of Congress and several Supreme Court justices gathered around Carter's flag-draped coffin under the Capitol dome. Austrian Foreign Minister Alexander Schallenberg will be named caretaker chancellor on Wednesday until a new coalition government is formed. Protesters, both supporting and opposing the arrest of impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol, continued to brave freezing temperatures to stage rallies on the streets around the presidential compound on Wednesday after a court reissued the arrest warrant on Tuesday. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro is set to take office for a third term on Friday following last July's contested election. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro declared a mass deployment of military and police forces across the country. Maduro also announced the arrest of 7 foreigners whom he accused of being mercenaries, trying to prevent him from being sworn in for another 6 years in power. The Ukrainian military said on Wednesday that Russia launched a total of 64 drones at the country overnight, out of which Ukraine shot down 41 drones. The drone debris damaged a private residence in Kiev without causing any casualties. The United Nations and the Lebanese government are seeking an additional $371.4 million in humanitarian aid for those displaced by the Israel-Hezbollah conflict. The UN reported intense clashes between the Congolese army and M23 rebels, resulting in the displacement of approximately 102,000 people. The UN has denounced the recent attacks by M23 rebel group backed by Rwanda in the Democratic Republic of Congo. A light aircraft crashed near Rottnest Island off the western Australian city of Perth, killing 2 tourists and the pilot, injuring 3 surviving tourists on Tuesday. The aircraft was carrying 6 people. 13 Cuban soldiers are missing after explosions rocked an arms and ammunition depot in the eastern province of Holguin, Cuba. State media reported on Tuesday. The incident is still under investigation. Syria's Damascus International Airport resumed international operations on Tuesday with flights to UAE and Qatar. This development follows the collapse of the Assad regime and signals a potential bolster in relations with neighbouring Gulf countries. Om Birla, Speaker of India's lower house known as Lok Sabha, visited the Dr. Ambedkar Museum in London on Tuesday and called it a profound tribute to the life and legacy of the architect of the Indian Constitution. He is on a 5-day visit to the United Kingdom, Scotland and Guernsey. The Government of India handed over academic buildings constructed under its high-impact community development project to Nepal under Nepal-India Development Cooperation. These buildings include campus and hostel facilities at Myagdi Multiple Campus. We are heading for a short break here in Express News. We'll be right back in just a bit. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. Let's resume. Race to find survivors is still underway after a major earthquake killed at least 126 people and damaged more than 3,000 buildings in earthquake-hit Tibet. Scores of people were injured after the tremors hit the foothills of the Himalayas on Tuesday. The India Meteorological Department has forecast that a strong cold wave will continue in North India with light to moderate rainfall likely in the northeastern regions of the country, whereas northwest India is likely to see a wet spell from January 10th to 12th. The Kashmir Valley has been experiencing a cold spell with temperatures dropping below freezing in many areas. Higher reaches of North Kashmir received significant snowfall, with Gulmarg and Gurez recording nearly 15 inches of wet snow. Cold wave gripped Chenab Valley of Jammu and Kashmir. Bhadarwa freezes at -7 degrees Celsius while a snow clearing operation is being carried on strategic interstate roads. Tourists in large numbers have begun to make a beeline for the snow-filled meadowland Guldanda in Bhadarwah-Pathankot highway of Jammu and Kashmir, boosting local business. Thunderstorms with rainfall and hailstorm are expected in northeastern states of Assam, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya. Fishermen have been advised to avoid venturing into the southwest Arabian Sea. In the West, Los Angeles City of California declared a state of emergency on Wednesday as ferocious wildfire exploded from 10 acres to more than 2,900 acres just in hours. A major storm system that blanketed a large swathe of the central and eastern United States in snow and ice, disrupting travel, closing down federal offices and public schools in Washington, D.C. Bangkok ranked as the world's 9th most polluted city on Tuesday, with the ultrafine dust accumulation at red, hazardous to health levels. The level of airborne pollutants was measured at 165 on the Air Quality Index. In Ukraine's Crimea, over 100 volunteers gathered at a beach in Sevastopol region on Tuesday to remove oil residue following an oil spill in the Black Sea in December 2024. The environmental groups have previously reported deaths of dolphins, porpoises and seabirds. Every 12 years, the Mahakumbh Mela attracts millions from across the globe, all seeking spiritual solace on the banks of the holy river. But what keeps this massive congregation safe and orderly is a seamless blend of tradition and technology. In 2025, security at Prayagraj's Mahakumbh Mela has undergone a remarkable transformation. From monitoring crowds to managing emergencies, a multi-layered security strategy is in place to maintain peace and guide millions through this sacred journey. Around 2,000 participants in festive costumes took part in a traditional Moscow charity run on Orthodox Christmas Day. The charity run took place at the Luzhniki Stadium in the Russian capital and began with a warm-up led by a professional trainer. Participants dressed as Santa Claus raced a distance of 5 kilometers. In China's snow town of Mudanjiang city in the Heilongjiang province, hundreds attended snow disco under the temperatures plummeting to a minus 30 degrees Celsius. The event marked fireworks display lighting up the sky along a traditional dragon dance performance. Mexico's Museum of Anthropology reopened its second floor, unveiling an indigenous culture exhibition showcasing about 6,000 artifacts. The exhibition aims to unify archaeological and ethnographic perspectives to highlight Mexican culture from pre-Hispanic times to the present day. Visitors tour the streets of the Iraqi city of Basra, checking out old houses known as Shanashil that date back to the Ottoman period and line the city's waterways. UNESCO had teamed up with local authorities in Basra to renovate some of those Shanashil houses in the old city, and many were transformed to cultural centers. Thousands descended on Las Vegas as CES 2025, the world's largest technology showcase, officially opened its doors. CES, formerly known as the Consumer Electronics Show, runs from January 7th to 10th and is used to debut products ranging from new automotive technology to quirky gadgets, as well as showing new ways to use AI. Genie, a lifelike robotic puppy from Tombot, which has been wowing crowds at CES 2025, is providing companionship and unconditional love for those who are unable to look after a real animal on their own. Tombot's technology also offers continuous new behaviors, preventing users from experiencing repetitive interactions with the robotic puppy. Italy's fashion world said goodbye to one of the best-loved designers at the funeral for Rosita Missoni in Milan. A Missoni statement said Rosita passed away peacefully, calling her a visionary figure in the Italian and international fashion world. Dance companies from the United States and Cuba opened the second edition of the Ballet Beyond Borders in Havana. The event features performances by Liszt Alfonso Dance Cuba, the most celebrated dance company on the island, and the Rocky Mountain ballet dancer from the United States, running from January 7th to 11th. Brazilian nun Aina Canavaro Lucas has been recognized as the world's oldest living person at 116 years by Longevity Quest, an organization that tracks global supercentenarians. Born on June 8, 1908, Lucas claimed the titles of the oldest living woman and the oldest living person following the demise of Japan's Tomiko Ituka in December 2024. The 2025 National Board of Review Awards celebrated the achievements of films made last year at a star-studded event hosted by Billy Geist in New York. The NBR Prize for Best Director was won by John M. Chu for his direction of The Wicket. The Best Actor and Best Actress honours went respectively to Daniel Craig for Queer and Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl. In a story of self-discovery and reinvention, Pamela Anderson highlighted a profound connection in the forthcoming film The Last Showgirl. She said it's taken her a long time to find a project like this. Nicole Kidman was presented with the International Star Gong for erotic thriller Baby Girl by Jamie Lee Curtis during the 36th annual Palm Springs International Film Festival Awards Gala in Palm Springs, California. The Golden Globes brings together Hollywood's film and television stars like few other events. A slew of celebrities dressed up to the nines mingled together at the Beverly Hilton ahead of the first major awards show of the season. Despite receiving criticism after the final Border-Gavaskar Test match, the Sydney Cricket Ground pitch has been rated satisfactory by the International Cricket Council. New Zealand thumped Sri Lanka by 113 runs in the second ODI to take an unassailable 2-0 lead in the three-match series. India pacer Jasprit Bumrah, Australian captain Pat Cummins and South African seamer Dane Patterson are in contention for the ICC Men's Player of the Month award for December 2024. Indian batter Smriti Mandhana, Australia's Annabelle Sutherland and spinner Nonkolu Keko Malaba are among the top contenders for ICC Women's Player of the Month award. Newcastle moved a step closer to a first major domestic trophy since 1955 with a 2-0 victory over Arsenal in the first leg of the English League Cup semi-finals. Tottenham Hotspur locked horns with Arne Slot's Liverpool side in a high-profile encounter of the EFL Cup at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Wednesday. France's longest-serving national team coach Didier Deschamps will not seek to renew his contract, which expires in 2026. The Spanish Football Association confirmed on Tuesday that Real Madrid forward Vinicius Jr. has been given a 2-match ban for violent conduct in his team's 2-1 La Liga win at Valencia on Friday. HS Pranoy overcame the challenges posed by Canada's Brian Yang and won the first-round match, which was resumed on day 2 of the competition to enter the round of 16 of the Malaysia Open. Lakshya Sen, however, made a first-round exit as he lost to Chinese Taipei's Chen Zhu-yen 14-21, 7-21. In hockey, Dutch forward Thierry Brinkman struck a brace as Kalinga Lancers trounced tabletopper Bengal Tigers 6-0 to script its first win in the Hockey India League on Tuesday. Tamil Nadu Dragons will be facing Team Gonasika in a Men's Hockey India League fixture at the Birsa Munda Stadium in Rourkela, Odisha on Wednesday. Two-time Olympic medalist Neeraj Chopra has thrown his weight behind the first-ever Kho-Kho World Cup, calling for global unity in support of India's traditional sport. The opening ceremony of the Kho-Kho World Cup 2025 will take place on January 13th at the Indira Gandhi Stadium, followed by the opening match between India and Nepal. And Andy Murray is hitting the ground running in his new role as coach to Novak Djokovic, with ambitions to etch their names into the history books at the upcoming Australian Open. That's it in this edition of Express News. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.